Hey, it's Meatball.
And Mark.
And this is the Rocker Morning Show on demand from 107.7 RKR. 107.7 RKR, it is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
What's up, buddy? How was your weekend?
Oh, man, it was electric. So good.
Indeed. Yesterday, notwithstanding for either of our football teams or most of our fantasy teams, it seems like. Mm-hmm. We just won't get into that. Fun weekend. I watched a lot of football.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. And then there was something we did on Saturday that, like, I don't know, it's kind of a big deal. Do you remember?
Kind of a
big
deal.
There were a whole bunch of us all in one place.
A massive deal.
Oh, that's right. We gave away a friggin' truck.
Yes.
The Rocker Rides. Thanks to our friends, Tapper Ford, Tapper Chevy, out there in Paw Paw, of course, Warner Vineyards for having us out there for the concert series all summer. We had the opportunity to give away either a Ford F-150 or a Chevy Silverado, the 2024 model for each one of them for a 2-year lease. And, man, we had our 10 finalists out there. They got a bunch of cool stuff. They got some detailing. They got some, oil changes and car washes. What else?
Gift certificate to Warner.
That's right.
I mean, it was like a $500-$600 package that we hooked them up with. So, I mean, again, this is the biggest the rides has ever been. This is the first time we've done anything like this. Yeah. It's clear that this is the way to go going forward because we got 10 winners. Everybody had fun. And, you know, even though one person ended up winning.
Yeah.
There were multiple people who expressed extreme joy at the fact that they were just there to begin with.
Yeah.
And we hooked them up with prizes. They're like, seriously, thank you so much for putting this on. Like, this is incredible.
We got to hang out for the Red Hot Chili Peppers too, who were really good.
Sweet.
They were a great show. Really, it was just a fun night all around. And shouts out to CJ the sound booth, by the way. He did a great job. I was like, can we get some like pensive, exciting type music? And I mean, he delivered. It was great. Yeah. It was great.
I didn't know that was set up. I was like, hey, this guy knows what's happening right now.
Yeah. I literally was just like, yeah, man, just pull the music down when we're up on stage. And I was like, do you got any like exciting music? And I mean, he came up to me afterward and he goes, man, all those years working at the sound booth at the casino worked out well for me. So it's like great. But yeah, we had a great time. So for those of you that weren't there, that didn't know how the contest worked, what happened was we go up on stage with all of our contestants who we drew the order in which they were going to pick.
Yeah.
The key fobs, and we had the 2 trucks at the back of the parking lot. One by one, down the line, they picked one key fob at a time, and it was a countdown, 3, 2, 1, click, and they would push the alarm button. If the alarm button didn't go off, they lost. If it did go off, they won. We got all the way down to the last 2. I mean, it was like, once we got to like 6 or 7, I was like, man, this is exciting. And then we got this, and then we hit 7. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And then we got down to the last 2. It was between Bud and Bronzo. And it was like, you get it or you don't. And we know, we're going to know who the winner is with this one right here. And it was electric, man. 3, 2, 1. Alarm goes off. And Bud wins.
Bud actually almost collapsed.
He did.
Like a neutron star. We actually have this video. I'm gonna post it up here in a bit.
Yeah, we're gonna have photos and stuff up on the socials.
Oh my gosh. Yes. The moment it went off, he just like curled and like one of the other finalists had to kind of catch him. Bud has been a avid listener of the Rocker for 35 years.
Yep.
He said he's never won one thing from the Rocker. And the first thing he wins is a 2-year lease on a brand new pickup truck. And what pickup truck was that, Meatball?
It was one of the 2 from TAP. It was, we want to thank our friends from Tapper for giving up those vehicles, of which Bud chose one of them. And man, it was a choice that Bud made.
Are we not going to talk about the decision that he made, Meatball?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm taking one of the trucks.
The Chevy Silverado, baby. Meatball trashing me all summer long, and then what happens? Team Chevy.
Like a rock,
Like
man.
a rock.
Just
but hey,
there.
I'll tell you what, the Ford F-150, I mean, there's no doubt why it's the number 1 selling truck in the world.
Yeah.
Both of those just beautiful vehicles that, again, hats off to Tapper for doing this and having the excitement for wanting to do it again next year. I mean, now I'm really excited because now I'm like, man, it's going to be even bigger next year.
Yep. So at some point, I know they've got to go through the paper signing process and stuff, and we want to get Bud in that truck and have him drive it around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I believe we're going to try and get Bud and the guys from Tapper in either later this week or early next week. and just kind of go down what it was like during that process, because man, it was electric, man. It was exciting.
It really
very
was.
fun,
so again, shout out to everybody who was there, everybody who participated, everyone who signed up. It sounds like this is here to stay, and we're going to be doing it big next year. So just hang tight, because not only are we, fingers crossed, we're going to be doing this again next year, but big things happening today, man. Your first chance at being able to win $30,000. Solve the Vault. Your first chance coming up 8:35 this morning on The Rock. 107.7 RKR. It's a Rocker Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
Meatball, we were just talking about how we have not made it over to Turbo Chicken yet because we were coming up with a list of, some local places we got to check out.
Yeah,
Somebody brought up Turbo Chicken. And I saw a post on their Facebook on Friday saying that at the end of the month, they're closing their doors.
What?
Yep.
Seriously?
Yep.
Oh, man.
I was like, oh my gosh, we were just talking about them. So they posted this up on their Facebook, and we've got this on the 107.7 RKR app. They said, yes, September 28th, they're going to be closing the doors.
Well, crap.
Well, there is good news because they were clowning us a little.
Oh, no.
Although it's true that their location at 5234 Portage Road is going to be closed September 28th, they're reopening 400 feet away, which is kind of nice. That's a nice move, man.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
400 feet away, their new location is going to be at 5252 Portage Road, so that's a little bit easier to remember.
Okay, all right. So they're not closing. Like is it like one's closing and then the next day they open the other one?
I don't think so. I think they're closing and then taking some time to get everything open.
Gotcha. Okay.
Get everything set up.
So if I want Turbo Chicken anytime soon, I need to get there now.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait however long it takes.
Yes, you've got 11 days to make it over there.
All right.
So, this has been a really difficult time for a lot of businesses. Thrive It All Day Center, Schultz's Treat Street. The list goes on with all these businesses that have been affected by the construction. And, of course, we're still, coming out of a pandemic as well. And we said this before, this is people's livelihoods at stake. So please visit the Kazoo Construction tab at WRKR.com to see all the great local businesses who need our support and the easiest way to get to them as well. Yeah. Turbo Chicken being one of these businesses, but they've thrived. They've kept strong. They're like, the construction did a number on us, but they're pretty confident going forward that they're going to be successful.
Listen, when it comes to good chicken, I will run a double dare type obstacle course if it means to get a great meal from a chicken place.
Think of it this way. Mice only get cheese for navigating a maze. We get fried chicken. They got it bad.
Yeah.
It's time to turn up your dials and tune out the traffic because we're playing the Daily 5 on the Rocker Morning Show, testing the mental magnitude of your favorite morning monkeys on the radio. And now, your hosts for the Daily 5, Meatball and Mark Frankhouse.
It is the Daily 5 where Mark can ask each other questions. The other one answers. Today, Mark is asking the questions. I am answering. I got some help on the line this morning from Jerry. Good morning, Jerry. How are you?
Good morning, guys. How you doing?
We're doing great, man. You got to help Meatball get 3 out of 5 questions correct. If you do, he'll take the 1-0 lead to start the week. If not, I will take the 1-0 lead.
All right, let's do this.
General knowledge to open it up.
Okay.
How many miles do experts say most vehicles get you once the gas light comes on? 20, 30, or 40?
I go on the high end of that.
40?
I know my car. Yeah, my car, if the gas light comes on, I can get like 50 or 60.
What do you drive?
An Equinox.
Oh, okay. That's not bad then. Man, I want to say that I think I've gotten maybe 30 miles out of my pickup.
That's good.
And this is an average, right, Mark?
Yes. Most vehicles.
Does the light come on like when there's a gallon left, right?
Some of them it's a half gallon.
Some of it's a half gallon?
Yeah.
I think on mine it's like there's still 2 gallons in there.
So you think it's on the higher end?
Let's go in the middle.
Go in the middle?
Let's go in the middle. Yeah.
Was that 30, right?
Yeah, 20, 30, or 40.
All right. I like the middle. Let's go with 30. Final answer.
30
there
is correct.
All right. little cognitive thinking this morning, We'll get it done.
Food. Which of these was not something McDonald's once tried to market? Onion nuggets, Hot Dog McNuggets or Burger McNuggets?
Oh, my God. I never heard of any of them.
I strangely, whether it was a thing when I was alive or not, I strangely remember that there were like onion nuggets with McDonald's, and it had like a yellow box. It was very odd looking. As for the other two, I have no clue.
If I had to guess, I'd say the hot dogs. I mean, who wants to go to McDonald's for anything with a hot dog in it?
Right. They already offer burgers, so why would they put them in nugget form? You know? Let's go. Jerry, I think you're on the money. I think we go hot dog nuggets, right?
Sounds good to me.
All right, hot dog nuggets, final answer.
Hot dog nuggets, final answer. McDonald's actually once tested hot dogs. It was called the McDog, and they also tested hot dog nuggets.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah, it was not something McDonald's tried to market.
Right.
Burger McNuggets were not something they tried to market.
Oh, see, that's my fault. I got it backwards. I have not had enough coffee this morning.
Entertainment. Actor Steve Carell once had a job before making it in Hollywood. What was he? Was he a massage therapist, a telemarketer, or a mailman?
He gives off major mailman energy, you know? Like, I can't explain it.
That would be a good movie.
Just Steve Carell's a mailman?
Yeah.
It would be a total guess, so you holler.
Yeah. Give me the options again.
Massage therapist, telemarketer, or mailman?
Oh, the oddball out there is the massage therapist. I would think if it's the oddball answer, it's going to be massage therapist. If it's the kind of normalish one, I would think it would be telemarketer. What do you think, Jerry?
I'm just letting you do the guessing.
Putting the pressure on me, ball.
Let's go. I don't know. I'm gonna say telemarketer.
Yeah.
Just because he has become like a big voiceover guy. Jerry, as long as you're cool with it, I'm gonna say voice. I'm gonna say telemarketer. Final answer. Oh.
Mailman vibes were strong. Yes, he was a mailman. Held it for 4 months. He actually was on a late night show, and he said it was the toughest job he ever had.
4 months, though. Oh. All right.
History. Who was technically the first reality TV president? Was it Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, or Gerald Ford? Had anything to do with reality television. Lyndon Johnson, Richard Nixon, or Gerald Ford?
Nixon, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, reality TV to me is like Big Brother, Survivor, Real World, Road Rules. Obviously, all of those came well after all of those presidents.
Yeah. This was more like the game show type era, you know?
Oh, okay.
Obviously, with all these presidents, it was like more of a game show. But that was the reality television of the time. I still am kind of leaning towards Nixon, Jerry. What do you think?
Yeah, let's go with Nixon.
All right. Nixon, final answer.
He is a crook.
Oh, no.
Lyndon B. Johnson. So Jerry Whittington was the first black member of the presidential staff. She was the secretary.
Yeah.
And instead of a boring news conference, President Johnson actually contacted the show What's My Line? A show where people try to guess your profession. And he put Miss Whittington as a guest, which led to someone guessing that she was his secretary, thus announcing it to the world.
Okay. All right. Well.
So, I couldn't get the first point to start the week, Meatball. We go up 1-0, and we're just following suit from last week.
It's all right.
It's okay. Jerry, either way, man, you're going to go see Three Dog Night this Thursday at the Kalamazoo State Theater. Way to go, man.
I'm pumped up because I only got to work Monday and Tuesday this week, and I'm off the rest of the week.
Heck yeah, what a way to go into that long weekend.
That's Jerry, you got a good party brewing this week, I think.
Yes, sir.
All right, congrats, Jerry. Thanks for hanging out with us today, man.
All right, thanks, man.
107.7 RKR is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
Reminder, in about 40 minutes or so, you're going to be getting your first code number for Assault the Vault, so make sure you got that 1077 RKR app. Download it now. And when we give out those code words, you can punch them in there. Chance to win $100 every hour and up to $30,000. So
yes.
Yeah, make sure you're ready for those code numbers when they do start coming at 35 after. Again, 8:35 is when we're going to have the first one for you. So Mark, a few years ago, Michigan tried to implement a relocation program for Canadian geese that were becoming a bit of a nuisance in certain parts of the state.
Mm-hmm.
That program has now officially failed. So, the state has introduced new tactics. Shoot to kill.
What?
A little bit of context here. Believe it or not, at one time, the Canadian goose was an endangered species. They had been, I guess this is like late 1800s, early 1900s. They had been hunted to the point that their numbers dropped dangerously low. So they became a protected species, specifically here in Michigan. But we might have protected them too well, because now, especially in like northern parts of the state, they have become a nuisance again, and property owners and cities and communities are starting to complain about them. So, a while back, Michigan implemented a relocation program, and for years, these geese were, caught in these areas that were causing issues, relocated to like wildlife refuges or, more rural property where they weren't causing so much trouble. Well, that hasn't worked. So now the state is literally issuing licenses to kill these geese.
Oh my God.
So it's in part with the state, the city, the communities, the townships, the county, all that. You have to go through all the proper rounds for that. But yeah, just to be clear, this isn't just because like these geese are just honking too loud, or being annoying.
Right.
Geese can actually cause some serious issues in some communities. They block traffic sometimes. They poop everywhere, which is a health hazard just in and of itself. They do carry some diseases. So if they're in like certain lakes and they're carrying these diseases, they can cause E. coli outbreaks in the lakes. And then, their feathers, especially when they're molting from, goslings to adult geese, they can cause issues with like filtration systems and things like that. So it's not good for some of these communities to have a ton of geese in them.
So what, you can just like walk out your back porch and blast geese now or something? Like what the?
What is it, Danny DeVito from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? And I started blasting them. No.
Yeah.
No, you actually have to apply for the license to get rid of them.
Okay.
There are some rules to follow. They have to be so far away from public areas, things like that. And typically, they'll actually have you call an expert or a specialist to come out and do it for you. But sadly, this is what we've come to, despite the fact that, they were here first.
Right.
This seems a little extreme given that fact, they're Canadian geese and Canada's like right there. We knew this was their place first, but you can't help the fact that, you live on a golf course next to a lake where generations of these geese have laid their eggs in the past,
Yeah.
So, if you want to read more on this and see if you've got a nuisance problem, check it out, WRKR.com. And of course on the 1077 RKR app. I don't really like this method any more than most people do who like animals, but also I do hate geese in particular. I refer to them as murder chickens. I have been attacked by geese so many times that I've just completely lost track.
I need to know if anybody else in the area has been attacked by geese. 978-1077. If you've been attacked by geese around here, let me know. What did you do to get attacked by geese?
I don't know. Just existing, walking within a half mile of them or something. I don't know. I don't necessarily want them dead, but I'm not afraid to kick one if it starts honking down at me, that's just self-defense at that point.
Well, don't ever take East Crosstown. That's the East Crosstown Gaggle Cruise turf, and they'll kill you.
1077 RKR is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
So we asked for some people to call us and let us know about getting attacked by geese. You're telling us that you get attacked almost daily?
Hey, I get attacked by geese all the time.
Oh, my God. Where at?
Western Michigan University's campus.
Oh, my God. So they just run up on you?
No, they hang around and they cross things and like sidewalks and whatnot. And if you walk up on them, usually there's one that'll stand its ground. And act like, hey, don't push me off the sidewalk. I'll push you off the sidewalk. And they
Right.
come and they peck at your leg or something. I mean, it's not like they got teeth where they're going to bite you or something.
I don't know. I've been jogging, in my old, some of the cities that I used to live in, like jogging on the concrete path down by the river. I've taken a couple of shots from geese, a couple of bites from them. They don't exactly, they sting for sure.
Right. I get it. And they are a nuisance. There's a place in downtown Battle Creek where you can't walk without boots on.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them. And it is a problem. And
I ain't taking any mess from geese, man. Those suckers mess with me. I'm going to be selling freaking goose at the next Kalamazoo Farmers Market.
I think you just got to carry a 9-iron with you.
Right.
Especially on the golf course. I wonder if a falcon would be a good way to drive them off.
Oh, that's an interesting.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea.
There's some guy in a truck he's a falconer, and he was employed to drive some of the starlings away from the building in downtown Detroit when they had
the draft down there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sounds like we all need to get into falconry then.
Yeah. Us and the Kennedys.
Yeah. Mark, look up and see how much it costs to get a falcon.
On it. I'm looking it up on Facebook Marketplace as we speak.
It takes a bit to train them. I don't know if it would do the same to geese or not.
I mean, there's only one way to find out, and that's for me and Mark to buy a falcon.
Yeah. I think you should get on that.
All right.
On it, bro.
Yeah, we're doing it.
107.7 RKR. It's the Rocker Morning Show with Mark Frankhouse.
And Meatball.
So, Meatball, there is a new senior day center that's unlike anything else in the state, as far as I know, that recently opened up in Kalamazoo. And people who are looking for a quality and temporary help with their loved ones need to look into this.
Okay.
Meatball, luckily for us, our parents are still in good health, still in their 60s and enjoying retirement. Yeah. For others out there, it's a bit of a struggle. I know some of you listening may be dealing with the struggle of a parent or a loved one who needs assistance. And I mean, I firsthand saw the struggle my mom went to when she was dealing with her mom and, my grandma was getting older. Yeah. It's emotionally trying. It's super stressful, especially when you want to be there for them daily. But you still have things you need to do. You still have to work. Yeah. And you're worrying like, okay, how are they going to get the care that they need while I'm gone at work? Well, a Kalamazoo mother of 3 recently went out and opened a center that she had a passion to open and make because she knows those struggles. If you open up the 107.7 RKR app, WRKR.com, you can check out the Thrive Adult Day Center. This basically serves as a center where you can drop off your loved one while you work or run errands. They have outings. There's the games, group discussions, and basically they run a hangout spot for people who need help.
Nice.
So they have they have like meals, which are provided by Meals on Wheels, by the way, which is pretty cool because I think East Crosstown, they have that new Meals on Wheels center over there.
Yep.
So they have a bunch of interactive things to get involved in. They've got like some internet-based programs and puzzles and other stuff as well because, as we age, our cognitive functions kind of begin to slow down, decline. So they kind of help keep your loved one sharp as well.
That's fantastic. No, that's great. I got to see, I haven't seen it firsthand necessarily with my folks and their folks, but we moved a little further away from there, but I definitely understand that struggle. And I know people who deal with it, not even necessarily like their grandparents are getting older, but there's some adults out there too that aren't necessarily considered senior, so to speak.
Right, exactly.
That could benefit from this as well. So this is an awesome service, man.
If you're interested in this at all, if you've got a loved one who's, kind of struggling and you would like this help, feel free to give us a call at 978-1077 and give you some more info. Again, Thrive Adult Day Center is open, ready for business with an experienced and caring staff. They can get you all the info right there on the 107.7 RKR app and WRKR.com. I had a chance to talk to the owner a couple weeks back. You probably heard them on the City of Kalamazoo commercials that we're playing because we're trying to help these businesses, man. They're struggling because of the
construction around them.
And again, this is a great center, man, for all adults.
Yeah, I noticed it doesn't say anything about seniors specifically.
Yes.
It just says Adult Day Center. So I think I might go over there after work. You give me a snack and play some games. Sounds awesome to me.
I'm going to be looking for you up and down only to find you at Thrive playing Mario Kart with them, aren't I?
Woohoo! 1077 RKR, it is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
I'm sure most of us have seen this drama now, or at least kind of heard about it from what happened with Jane's Addiction over the weekend. You know about this, right? We talked about it a little bit.
Oh, my gosh.
Just a quick catch up for those that are unaware. The band Jane's Addiction has like an original lineup tour going on right now. It's the first time they've been together since 2010, I think. So it's kind of a big deal. But they had a show in Boston, and I think this was either Thursday or Friday night last week. They were ripping through their set. All of a sudden, Perry Farrell, the frontman, starts yelling at Dave Navarro, their guitar player. He kind of walks back to the other side of the stage, and then a couple songs later, he is screaming into his microphone instead of just singing. And then he goes up to Dave, shoves him with his whole arm, and then just starts swinging on him, like in the middle of his guitar solo.
Yeah.
Dave just kind of pushed him away. And then stagehands came out to grab Perry, walk him off stage. I guess, their bass player, Eric Avery, got in a couple of quick cheap shots on Perry, before they took him backstage. So that's unfortunate. But yeah, Dave just set his guitar down on stage and walked to the other side. It was a whole big deal, man. They canceled their next show in Connecticut. And I think they're supposed to play a show in Rochester Hills on Friday.
Oh, dude, that's my hometown.
Uh-huh. So I don't know if that show's going to happen. I think there's one more show, maybe like Thursday or Friday, I think, in Toronto or something.
I was going to say, where is that? I'm trying to find. Oh, Meadowbrook. Yeah, that's where I graduated.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Perry's wife offered up some weird, loose explanation as to what was happening, at least with Perry during this whole thing. And you can read all of this over at WRKR.com and the 1077 RKR app. But the latest news is we got an update from Dave Navarro on his Instagram. It's kind of a cryptic post, and I really wonder if they're going to do any more shows, because he just posted a photo of himself, black and white photo of him with an acoustic guitar that's flipped over backwards, and it says Jane's Addiction on the back of the guitar. Caption of the photo just says, "Good night." So it seems that Dave Navarro is out, and the classic lineup run of Jane's Addiction is now like over again.
And it's like, what's the point after that?
Yeah.
This is what's weird about it. I saw another video where dude's screaming and it's totally off, and Dave kind of finger wags Perry. And he's trying to get him to come over to him.
Yeah.
And so Dave just starts, shredding solo and stuff. And he's just trying to get him in time with the song, because everybody was saying like he was off. And I heard some of the issues were like, the main issue was that the band was too loud on stage.
I did see complaints that like there were people in the front row, especially trying to tell Perry that they couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
And that's of no fault of Perry or the rest of the band. That's the sound mixing guy.
Well, I was going to say, normally professional bands like that, they'll wear the earbuds so you get your personalized mix. You get your own personal mix in your ears.
But if Perry can't hear himself, then he should be hinting to the sound guy, "Hey, dude, I can't hear me." And the sound guy should be like, "Oh, okay," and then turn you up.
That's the entire point of a sound check.
Right. So then to go over there and throw punches at Dave Navarro for something that's out of his control feels off.
Yeah.
And he did not look like he was in a great mood. His wife said that this was something, I guess, that had been kind of boiling over for a while. But we have plenty of this, all the stuff that we've been talking about, some more details and whatnot on the 1077 RKR app and at WRKR.com. Of all the reunions that they have announced over the past couple of years, was this the one that you thought would end in a fist fight on stage?
No. I'm like, okay, Jane's Addiction, and then we got Oasis, maybe Black Crowes, bingo.
Yeah. Now, granted, we haven't seen Oasis even attempt this yet. But like, what's there's an over under on how many shows it'll last. Do you know what that is?
I think the last I checked on the website, there was like a 25% betting chance they don't make it through all 14 shows.
Yeah, that's right. 107.7 RKR is the Rocker Morning Show with Meatball.
And Mark Frankhouse.
So since moving to Michigan, Mark, I have apparently picked up some crazy habits.
Really? How many?
At least 6. Now, there are 6 in particular that I think are specifically Michigander that I've started developing.
Okay.
I don't count saying "ope" or just kind of scooch right by you there.
Yeah.
Like those are just kind of generally Midwestern. I've been saying those for years anyway. But I wanted to go down this list of habits that I didn't really notice I started doing until it was too late. 1, Faygo and Vernors are now lifeblood to me. I know you're not a Vernors person, but I have become one. I swear to you now, you could heal a broken leg with Vernors if you just drink enough of it or pour it over the bone. I don't know. And then Faygo, I used to look down on it, but I have completely changed my ways. Moon Mist, superior to Mountain Dew in all ways, shapes, and forms.
Yeah. Don't tell our boss that. He'll come for you.
The Insane Clown Posse, actually kind of all right. Prior to moving to Michigan, the only exposure I had to them was like our local juggalos.
Right.
But they were very far removed from the source, from home base, so to speak.
Yeah. It's funny when they start becoming the voice of reason and are on like To Catch a Predator and things. And it's like, what a time to be alive.
And like I owned, the Great Milenko and the Amazing Jekyll Brothers when I was in high school and college. Like I had those albums, but I was also like 17, 18, 19, Yep. And then I moved here and now everything I do, I dedicate to the Butterfly. So
people have no idea what we're talking about.
No, but if you look it up, you might figure it out. So another thing that I've picked up, I have now started referring to all liquor stores as party stores.
Yes.
So much so that I was making plans for my trip to Kansas City next month for a buddy of mine's wedding. I was chatting with the other groomsmen about hitting up the party store, and they got very confused. They thought I was talking about buying costumes to wear. So much so that I guess the maid of honor was like, "No, you're not wearing costumes to this wedding." I was like, "No, I'm going to get sized for a tux. We're wearing tuxes. What are you talking about?" "No, we're going to get liquor." She goes, "Why are you calling it a party store?" And I was like, "Oh, right. Okay. Yeah." Some of the other ones, I have become a massive beer snob since I moved up here because beer here is superior to literally everywhere I've been.
True.
I show people where I live now by pointing at my hand. And Mark, maybe the most egregious habit I have started developing, I've referred to soda.
I was going to say, you can't be serious.
I have referred to soda as pop.
Good.
Without doing it ironically. You know me. I am a never popper.
Yeah.
And yet it has happened now. I have called it pop on the phone. I did it the other day. And the second it happened, I just froze. I could not believe I said it.
So proud of you.
I'm not. I feel dirty. I feel gross.
No, just breathe it in. This is part of being a Michigander now.
Can you think of any other habits that you see me develop since I moved here? Like specifically Michigan ones?
No, because, again, you need to travel more too. We were talking about this yesterday.
Yeah.
And we got to get you.
Haven't really got out of Southwest Michigan much.
Yeah, we got to get you to Northern Michigan. Got to get you up there. Got to get you a pasty. Because I don't think you've actually had a pasty.
A good pasty.
Right.
Yeah. I would say, get acclimated to being, a depressed, sad every year Lions fan. But like I've been a Cowboys fan my entire life. So I'm kind of used to that.